Disney's Encanto, their 60th animated movie. Is this movie any good? Should you spend money on this? Take all your kids to it? Let me answer this question for you in the negative, coming up next. I went into Encanto because, and this is all I knew, the makers of Zootopia were involved. I admire Zootopia. It was a movie worth seeing and seeing multiple times, I think, so thus Encanto. This movie has Disney all over it. First, there's a magical haunted house that does wonderful things. You'd want to live in it. Second of all, animals that are dancing around in the house, helping out people, talking to little kids. You've got lots of bright colors, lots of musical numbers. You've got characters with gigantic eyes, sometimes big noses, big ears. They look adorable, and definitely a Disney princess vibe going on with this. The movie is set, I think, somewhere in South America. It's in a valley. There's a magical house with a family. It's an extended family and a girl who is a teenager, it looks like, or a tween. She enjoys her house and her family, but she hasn't been given a gift. Unlike her family members, they've all been given a gift in a special room by this house. She hasn't been given magical powers like the other members of her family. Also, another one of her family members has disappeared, named Bruno, a long time ago when she wasn't given her gift during her gift ceremony. The problem comes when this girl sees a vision of the house cracking and breaking down, and the magical candle that's at the center of this house's, I think, magical powers goes out. This causes problems with her family, especially the family matriarch, because, hey, she's telling the family something's wrong with the house, something's going to happen. What I found intriguing about Encanto is there's no villain in this movie, and the idea of a magical house with this family member who's on the outs, and she's trying to be restored to the family somehow. Since this is a Disney movie, you can probably guess what's going to happen from the very beginning, though. And I would call this movie closer to, say, Up or Inside Out from Pixar, skewing more adult, maybe more teenager-ish in terms of its themes and ideas than towards children. There were a number of children in my movie theater. None of them laughed. In fact, nobody laughed at this movie. All the jokes, or most of them, fell flat. I think the problems with this movie are because it's incoherent. First, the musical numbers, a couple of them at least, really don't have anything to do with the movie. In fact, you can feel them breaking off in the middle of the movie to do a song about a minor character who we don't really see very much before or after the musical number, and here a musical number shows up. Why? What's this about? Second of all, when I got to the end credits, I realized, oh, Lin-Manuel Miranda's involved in this movie, and maybe they're highlighting his musical numbers. A couple of problems with that. One is, as I said, the musical numbers seem more like digressions than coherent or integral organic parts to the movie. Second of all, I don't always follow the lyrics in his stuff, and I really needed it. I mean, the opening musical number is completely expository. It tells you all about the family, their origins, why they're there, each family member's special gift, but it goes by pretty quickly, and you'll probably miss quite a bit of it. And the movie is somewhat confusing in trying to sort out all of its characters. It's going to take you some time to figure that out. And as you're asking questions about the characters, you're asking questions about the setting, the fantasy world and its rules, and so on. I don't think the movie's always clear about that at all. In fact, because of that, it's going to not be as enchanting to little kids as I think the movie wants to be. As well, when you have a magical house with rooms that open up into fantasy worlds in and of themselves, I feel like, well, for me at least, I want to explore those. This movie doesn't do it that much. Only one or two rooms are explored, and I wish they would have gone into them more. Rather than do that, they go into the problems of the family itself, which isn't all that bad, and frankly, this is a super conservative movie, small c conservative. By that I mean the family, extended family, wants to stay together, live in the house, but the house is cracking. There's literal fractures in the house, and thus the matriarch wants to keep everybody together. Everybody needs to stay in the house, and the house needs to be restored to its original glory if it's going to break down. Around this house is a town full of townspeople who love the family, who show up at their events, and who end up helping the family out or want to help the family out. Thus, that's what I mean by conservative. Local house, local family, local town. Let's all bond, stay together, be unified. This is the main thrust of the movie. That doesn't mean I recommend watching this or not watching this. Frankly, I came out of this movie not being wowed by any of the characters, none of whom are all that memorable. And, Disney tends to go for memorable cartoon characters. Also, musical numbers. I wasn't humming anything once I left the movie. That's what a good movie musical should do, is leave you remembering a couple of songs at least. Of course, Frozen did that and continues to do that. Encanto tries, but it fails in that regard. And I do wonder if this movie has too many cooks. The too many cooks problem being there are 3 directors. One's given a co-director credit, which I don't know what that actually means. A number of people read on the script. A number of people worked on the story. In fact, I think 7 did. Lin-Manuel Miranda's given a story credit here. I wonder if he developed the musical numbers by themselves. That's why I think this movie feels incoherent. Perhaps there's too many people working on it or had too much say in the movie. Sometimes that kind of project can work, but not so much. So Encanto fails in that regard for me, at least. As well, I had my 12-year-old daughter come along. She wasn't impressed. As I said, nobody laughed in the movie theater, and so I'm betting this movie doesn't do as well long-term as, Frozen and a number of other memorable Disney movies like Big Hero 6, and for me at least, Big Hero 6 is really good, and Zootopia. So for that reason, I'm going to give it 2 stars, and I think over time, this movie probably will be forgotten, unfortunately. What did you think of Encanto? Any interest in the music? Did you like some things about the movie that I didn't like? Let us know in the comments. And please subscribe to this channel for more great content. Have a great day.